Hello, Nigerians, good people of Kogi Central, good afternoon. I am Senator Natasha Akpoti Udwaha. I haven't been on live here on Facebook for quite a while, and I have decided to make it a duty to speak to you directly if and when necessary. Today I feel a bit ill, but I had to turn up because at the National Assembly today we conducted the screening exercise for the nominated INEC chairman, Professor Amopitan. So I sat there for 2 hours. I raised my hands, hoping to be called upon to make my contribution, or should I say make the contribution of for the people of Kogi Central, and but I wasn't given a chance to speak, and it's understandable because it is the prerogative and discretion of the Senate President to call who he thinks should speak, and I respect that. But being that I wasn't given an opportunity to speak and on the floor today, I thought I should do so on my social media platform, and hope that this contributions will be worthwhile. So the first thing is, I actually, like every other senator, was given the resume of Professor Joash Amopitan, and I would like to say his resume was quite impressive. Contrary to the opinions that were flying all over social media, Professor Amopitan is actually a professor of law, and he specialized in the law of evidence and corporate governance, and he was actually the Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, so that's very impressive. So I would say congratulations to Professor Amopitan for impressing me and the people of Kogi Central with your very, very well-kitted resume. My second point is I'm actually going to congratulate him for being an indigenous of Kogi State. This is the first time someone from Kogi State is found worthy of being nominated to become the chairman of INEC. And my third observation when he spoke today was on the fact that he did mention, Professor Amopitan did mention that he was going to consider the deployment of technologies in the next elections, which is 2027. He mentioned drones specifically, and that actually caught my interest because just 3 months ago, while we were illegally suspended, my office, our office, the office of the Senate of Kogi Central, we actually facilitated the training of 80 persons with the utilization of drones, and we actually went ahead to empower each of the 80 individuals with a DJI drones. For those of you who are quite vast with the drone technology, you will know that the DJI drones are the world's best drones. They are designed and made in Germany. So we gave 80 indigenes of Kogi Central a drone 3 months ago. And here's what I wanted to tell Professor Amopitan, that we actually appreciate the fact that he's considering using drones to monitor the elections. And I want him to know that Kogi Central, we are ready. And our office is ready to supply you and furnish you with the list of the 18 individuals, so that either the police force or INEC itself will partner with these individuals, of course, probably engage their services and have these drones fly around the vicinity and cover the electoral activities on that day. So yeah, thank you so much for that idea. That's very thoughtful. That's very necessary. And but then the question I was going to ask Professor Amopitan is that we live in a digital age, and technology has advanced so much all over the world that a number of sectors have been positively influenced by the growth of technology and its innovations. In the finance sector, that's the banking sector, we have Bitcoin. In the medical field, we have robots conducting surgeries. in photography and the literary space, we have artificial intelligence, we have ChatGPT. I mean, basically, the advancement of technology has brought about a lot of smart, innovative thinking, so much that processes have been simplified, made efficient. And so my question is this. On the 12th day of September 2025, the people of Nepal elected their first female prime minister using a gaming platform named Discord. And we in Nigeria today, at the last data count, we have 107 million Nigerians that are active internet users. That makes about 45% of our population are active internet users. How is Professor Amopitan's INEC going to be willing to deploy the very best and innovative ways and means of this technology in the next elections? I mean, the major concern we have had in Nigeria with regards to every elections, I mean, I have participated in 3 elections, and I know that security is a main concern, so much that persons are killed, electoral materials get hijacked on elections day. In some cases, election materials do not even get to the polling units. And even those that get to the polling units, they never get to the collation centers. So deployment of electoral materials is a big concern. Security of lives on election day is another concern. The cost of printing election materials, deploying officials from POs, EOs, and all that is another huge cost, every election in and out. Also, what's the other concern? Collations of these results at real time is another concern. And let's talk about keeping the environment green. I mean, all over the world, we know what the cost of printing papers, the cost in financial terms, and the cost to trees. That is, if we go green, if we discard the printing of materials and decide to go digital, have our elections all digital, you know what that will mean. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, how is Professor Amopitan gearing up to ensure that our elections moving on go seamless on all digital platforms, whereby people from the comfort of their homes can log into platforms such as Discord that can't be hacked, can't be corrupted, and vote utilizing their voter's card for verification, in addition to 1 or 2 of either our NIN numbers or BVN numbers or international passports, you know, or driver's license numbers. I mean, these are smart identities of individuals that whereby you can verify yourself using 1, 2, or 3 of this, and then you, bam, you just find your picture there, and then you accredit yourself personally, and then you'll be, you know, flushed with the various polls, which is either the presidential, and you have the pictures and the political parties right there, and then you vote. And do you know how simple that will be? Do you know how efficient that will be? That's us voting real time. And why this is such a concern is because, I mean, we all see that Nigeria is faced with pretty much the need to raise funds for elections. It's not cheap. I bet you the next cost, I could anticipate it getting into trillions, you know, to prepare for the 2027 election. So isn't that money that could be saved and deployed in our healthcare sector, education sector? I mean, developing infrastructures, both hard and soft, you know, as against wasting in printing materials, in deploying security personnels. And in sometimes these security personnel will actually be counterproductive because they tend to, in my perspective, protect people from a particular party, you know, and all these hazards, I think, can be avoided. If Nigerians can vote for Big Brother, millions of people on these platforms, the votes are secured, then I think we also can do what Rwanda has done. I mean, there are other African countries that have gone really digital, whereby they just sit with their platforms and vote. And the beauty of going purely digital is that it will accord Nigerians in diaspora the chance to vote. Wherever you find yourselves, in America, in Canada, in India, in China, in Australia. If you know Nigeria has a window, let's say a whole day voting, you can just log in, accredit yourself with your voter's card. You know, that's your PVC, your international passport, your NIN, your driver's license, any of these Nigerian government-provided means of identification, and then you vote. And trust me, there are certain platforms that can't be hacked. And then you begin to see real-time your votes being counted. So that saves a whole lot of stress. It protects lives. It then accords the Nigerian army and the police to go attend to other areas as against protecting voters on that day. I mean, that's what I wanted to ask, that how prepared is Professor Amopitan to go full digital so that we do not have to waste money in preparing, printing, deploying personnels in the 2027 elections. But by and large, I'm actually pleased with his person. I could say that myself, and I believe I speak for most people in Kogi Central and Kogi State, and hopefully Nigeria, that I'm actually impressed with his nomination. I'm actually impressed. I mean, went through his CV, and then he took time to speak fluently without any hitches. He sold himself. He defended his resume. And that gives credence to the words, the affirmative words I have heard of him the past, since his nomination. Before his nomination, I never knew who he was. But from the moment he was nominated, and when the negative stories started flying around, especially with regards to the dates and of his birth and when he attended primary school and when he was called to bar. But I went through his CV and I say that I'm quite comfortable with him, and I should let him know that the stakes are quite. We expect a whole lot from him. Should I say that we expect a whole lot, and the forthcoming elections. I know some states are going to have elections soon. I mean, that they will be litmus tests. I know it's not easy stepping into murky waters of INEC as it is today, but being a woman from the opposition party, which is the PDP, proudly so, I'd say that I'm expecting a whole lot from him, and I trust that he will not disappoint in upholding the very best principles of law, equity, and fairness, which he was taught in school as a lawyer. And considering the fact that he's a professor of law of evidence, that means he knows that real-time data will enable of every election that takes place under his watch will go into proving the worth of INEC as it were established and upholding the Electoral Act as it is being amended now and the Nigerian Constitution. And yes, Nigerians, I'm actually hopeful, and I wish all of us the best, because it's every intentional act, every day, every month, that runs into years, that we build a Nigeria of our dreams, and INEC has a huge role to play in the forthcoming election, and I wish all of us the very best. I promise to be more present on my social media handles and to speak on matters that I think are quite necessary, especially if I feel I am not opportune to speak on them on the floor. It's very important that the voice and opinion of Kogi Central is heard at all times. And so thank you all so much to have watched. Those of you who have watched, if you have a chance, you can crop the part that are necessary and tag INEC so that they will get to know that this is the opinion that, or the question that Kogi Central had to speak on the floor of the chambers today, but I wasn't given a chance. And like I said, I understand that it's a prerogative of the presiding officer to choose, but I thought, at least having listened to a number of men, a woman would have been given a chance to speak today and ask questions. And like I said again, Kogi Central, we're ready. We have 80 drones, 80 DJI drones to deploy to monitor the elections in 2027, and I hope that other governors and other senators, if they are opportune, will be able to empower their constituents with drones and other devices that will help simplify or enable, should I say, the elections in 2027, that will enable it to be seamless and effective and efficient. Thank you all. God bless you. I love you dearly. Bye. This is my office, by the way, those of you. I think I've never really taken time to show you guys my office. So this is it. I furnished this office with personal funds because at the time I resumed, I didn't have, should I say, the furnitures I met here were not decent enough. They were torn, they were old. And I was told that as every new senator is usually given a new set of furnitures. So I waited for 2 months and there were no furnitures that were coming forward. So I said, you know what, it wasn't going to break my back to dig into my personal funds and furnish an office that is befitting. Moreover, I have a chance of, I had an opportunity of furnishing it to my taste. So this is it. On my wall, I have 6 pictures of women who have inspired me greatly over the years, right from when I was a little girl. This is Cleopatra from Egypt. I admire her stories. And this is Cleopatra from Egypt, Joan of Arc, France, Queen Amina of northern Nigeria. We have Oprah Winfrey. We have Winnie Mandela, who is the wife or the ex-wife of Nelson Mandela, and we have Margaret Thatcher. So these women have greatly shaped me right from my childhood. I've read their stories and I followed their life stories as well. So even though the only person I got to see up close and personal was Oprah Winfrey, the rest, even though they're dead, but their stories and impacted me and shaped me to be the woman that I am. Then on the other wall, I have a picture of my husband. and I'll tell you a very funny story. So when my husband came in the first time to visit me in the office, and then he was like, oh, why don't we have a picture of both of us here? And I'm like, well, it was an oversight. And then he told me he wasn't coming to the office until I had a big picture of him here. And I said, okay, fine. And I surprised him with this. And he was very happy. I actually took a picture. And I said, look, when I got him, I said, look, my love, your picture already hangs on the wall. So yeah, that's after that he started visiting me in the office. And then here I also have, some nice decor. I have my tea sets. I have a beautiful table that you can see. I got everything here, very beautiful. My nice fireplace. I made my office very comfortable because I tend to stay in the office quite late. Sometimes I leave the office at 7 p.m. when I have a lot of work to do. And it's very important that my office is as comfortable as possible so that I kind of relax and don't feel overwhelmed because the environment is serene. So yeah, this is my beautiful office, the office of the Senator of Kogi Central, the office of the people of Kogi Central and Nigerians at large. So yep, it's good talking to you all, and I hope to be more upfront and personal with you as the days go by on my social media handles. Yeah, I love you all. Thank you. God bless.